Hello everyone. Um, I was a little bit late today, but I think it doesn't matter a lot. I think I'm gonna skip the first 15 minutes after the open. And really unlucky day yesterday. I got stopped out from flex. Stopped out from uh all of the entries yesterday. So and the indices starts to find resistance and went lower in the middle of the day and eventually find support at the 705 704 level as I expected. And I think like at the weekly 9 EMA and also the low of this red candle and together with the IWM 9 EMA as well. I think yesterday should be a little bit more patient and really wait for the pullback into the weekly 9. It would be the right play yesterday, but I was a little bit entering a little bit too early again. Like I was always too early. So, but still, we kept most of our positions and they're doing quite well. I'm really glad that I hold through yesterday's weakness and followed my plan perfectly. So we got a lot of gap ups today, and again and again, gap ups. Not gonna chase the opening range highs and the first 15-minute strength. Not a fan of that. So a lot of the names are looking great. GFS, SMTC, FTNT, Morphle, Flex, and I mean these names are looking really good, really great. And yeah, and SNDK stopped me out yesterday. And then we got a 20% gap up today, but I think that's part of the game because it could be a 20% gap down today. I'm just following the stops and it stops me out, then just move on into the next one. Hughes is approaching the anchor VWAP from the swing high, SPY into the 60-minute 9 EMA, IWM into the previous highs. We got a pretty heavy sell-off after the open, and SPY is already below all the EMAs in 15 minutes or 60 minutes time frame. Although the indices looks quite weak, but a lot of the strong names are again pulling back into the rising EMAs. So I'm still considering buying into weakness. Maybe not that aggressively, but yeah, definitely not gonna look for any shorts or setting my positions right now. Mega caps are the laggards today. Really interesting sell-off. This is pretty scary, but again, all the focus right now is at the weekly 9 EMA. Looks like we're gonna retest the weekly 9 and yesterday's low of day level again. And personally, I think that would be a really good opportunity for a bounce of a pullback buy opportunity. If we are seeing another quick flush into the downside, that will be GFS. All the EMAs are pretty tight, clustered together. at the 9 daily 9 EMA. Gap up and the fade. This is one of the best entry level for a pullback, especially when the market is flushing down very hard. And if there is any bounce or if the market can find support at the rising EMA, that would be a really good play. I really would like to buy it in faith right here, but it's just, I don't know how long it will spend. It's gonna spend below the EMAs. But if I am like more focusing on position trading, yeah, I really like entering today. I really would like to buy a little bit more, like SMTC or ALAP, but yeah, I think that my exposure right now is pretty heavy. I think I'm gonna let them go, and maybe they'll give me some other entry points. I don't know, maybe not ALAP, but SMTC could be another like gap up and then another pullback. I don't know, maybe going sideways and then breaking out on a double inside day, etc. Also, Mafel could be going a little bit more sideways and then breaking out. Hopefully, still too early to say. Still under the 9 EMA. Today could print the low of this downtrend on IGV. Looks pretty good right now, but we need a strong close to confirm it. I think today could be a pretty promising day for setting up another uptrend in the next few weeks. If the market can close green today, like no need to close really strong, but like closing green, closing like in the middle of the candle would be great. Is good enough. And net weekly very decent. Pull back into the 9 EMA. Yeah, I agree, but I don't like now it's right at the declining 9 and 21. Definitely weekly looks very nice. Yeah, it could be explosive. But right now I think it's a little bit, I don't know. Either you use the 5-minute candle stop, but it will be really like you will have a pretty low win rate, and it seems a little bit chasing on the bounce, but I don't know. It could be worth it, but I'm just not taking it today because I've already taken a lot of new positions, and I got FTNT, I got Crowd, a Net. Definitely one of the stock that's looking pretty strong right now. Yeah, but just wanted to like prove itself to get above the 9 and 21 first. But if you, I don't know, like if you bought it off the lows, maybe the 5-minute candle breakout, or the this is 15-minute. Yeah, this 5-minute candle breakout, yeah, would be decent. Would be a decent entry if you're bullish on net. But probably it's at the end of flip up from this swing high, or it's above it. Still, yeah, looks pretty good. I think this day could be the day, like maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, and then a lot of non-believing traders will look back and see and ask how could you get into the positions that early, and you're gonna rewatch this stream again. I think also the stream yesterday, the day before yesterday, and but still too early to say. But right now we're in an uptrend, very strong uptrend. Above the 50 EMA, 21 above 59 is still above the 21. So there's no point of getting bearish or like focusing on the short side, even if the market really go slower from here. But I think in probability wise, it's just not not with a high odds. And right here, the best risk reward play definitely is on the long side rather than on short side. If the market continues the uptrend, and I mean, if you're a momentum trader, if you are like a trend follower, swing trader, like here, I mean, like a counter trend in a after a strong primary trend, like the primary trend is definitely an uptrend, and now we are getting a pullback, which is the secondary trend, and it's a counter trend, and we also got a very quick flush into the downside intraday. Like if you study the market enough, there will be a great opportunity for the pullback buys or the bounce play instead of looking for selling or looking for the shorts. It's always easy in hindsight, like, oh, I should have bought during the dips on these days, but during the day, whether you really spot it and execute the plan, that is what makes the difference. And I could be very wrong, but I just believe like the risk reward on buying into the pullback today would be enormous. Wood is finding support at the 21 EMA at the previous swing high. So far so good. I think it could be also an entry. Also, yeah, a possible entry today. Also the 60-minute 150 EMA. That is right. Just the 5-minute candle breakout is actually pretty decent at the 21 EMA daily charts. Yeah, Penguin looks pretty solid here too. Buying here would be a little bit aggressive. I think a better entry will be like after it has broken out from the 9 EMA, and like it stays above all the EMAs first in the 60-minute time frame, and then goes a little bit sideways, and that will be a better, I mean, like quote unquote safer entry point compared to now. Yeah, because now it's like it's below all the EMAs in the lower time frames. But can't say you're wrong when if you're buying off the lows, like on this intraday breakouts, because like these stocks could go like really fast, and I mean that's the trade-off. You can wait, but you also can miss the move if you're being too patient and like will like to wait for the safer entry. But yeah, and on the other hand, you can buy it off the lows, but you just got a lower win rate, a lower success rate on this type of entries below the lower time frames EMAs. From a fell today, you buy at the break of first 5-minute green candle, anticipating reclaim of 20-day. Would you do this? If a wasteful reclaim stop would be too wide, is this bad habit or good habit? I understand. I think I understand what you mean, but I don't know. I don't know where is the 20-day or like 20 EMA, but yeah, definitely I agree. I think the breakout on the 5-minute candle is a good entry. You don't really need to wait for the daily reclaim or like to really wait for the price to get above a certain EMAs or support level. Because when if the stock is finding support, it's going to break out and like to bounce off the support levels and reclaim the EMAs or the previous highs or the anchor VWAP or like etc. I'm not going to wait for it to really get above certain support. Why you skipped Marvel? If I have unlimited buying power, I would buy these three. I would buy everything that I can buy. But yeah, the first thing is I already bought like 5 new positions today, and it will be a little bit too much for the open risk, and I think like GFS is a little bit better. It's a little bit better compared to Marvel, but yeah, I think it's still a solid buy off the lows today. No special reason, and like if the market can really stay strong, like really hold the weekly 9 EMA and go sideways, I think ON is another really good opportunities in the coming days or weeks, like going a little bit more sideways, and hopefully the volatility can reduce a little bit, like can get lower a little bit, like the candles can get a little bit tighter. That would be, yeah, the weekly looks pretty decent. Like after a huge run, and then we got a sideways action together with the market consolidation. Do you concern about the math of drawdown when you play such a high leverage levels? Like 10% loss requires 11% gain to break even. Yes, definitely. I emphasize this on my trader line interview. Risk management is always the number one objective, and should be put above all other things in trading. And I don't know, 10 years later, 20 years later, I would probably not trading pullback. I don't know. Like my entry tactics could change over time. The market keeps changing, and I think the style, like especially the entries or even the selling to, I don't know, could change quite a lot. But I think one thing that I would never change would be the risk management, and like setting stops before the entry and defining your risk before you enter a trade. And I don't think I'm going to change this in the next, I don't know, if I'm still trading and not becoming an investor or scalper, etc. Do you adjust or widen your stop losses? And never. I think the last time that I widened my stop losses is back in 2023, I think. Just stopped out on all new positions yesterday, but your hypothesis was also correct, but you got stopped out, so you are also wrong. How were you able to bounce back again so quickly today? I didn't bounce back. I'm just taking the trades that I should. How do you get rid of overtrading? I heard from your interview that you are going to trade less this year. I still overtrade sometimes. I don't think I can completely get rid of it, but I would try to get less and less of it, and to minimize the damage resulted from it. And again, it really takes time. I spent like, I don't know, almost 5 years on this overtrading problem. And I think the best way is definitely like really go through your past trades and finding out which trades are the ones that you shouldn't take. Like which trades are just like nonsense and you don't even know what you're doing back then. You definitely found a lot of them, and then if you have enough data, if you have observed and record enough random trades and go back and then study them, you gradually understand what time periods that you are like when you are prone to overtrade, when you start going to overtrade. Like generally I started overtrading when the market is kind of extended, like maybe somewhere like here, like because the stocks are going well, like they're trading well. They are normally the stocks is on an uptrend, and then I will start micromanage the trade and maybe become too aggressive on like chasing the stocks if I miss the previous run. Or like another situation that, or another spots that I tend to overtrade with something like the choppy periods. And I would say it's hard to prevent overtrading during this type of periods, but I do reduce my number of trades when the market is doing really well. And yeah, study your own trades. I just can't stress this enough. Do you use downtrend line or uptrend line at all? I try not to use them because like I really want to keep my charts as clean as possible, and but I do recognize like I do consider them when buying into the weakness, like when buying the pullbacks. Like if you consider SMTC today's dip into the below the 21 EMA, is actually like kind of at this uptrend line, below all the lows, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A lot of the previous lows, and it lines up pretty well, and it's slightly below the 21 EMA. But I do consider them, but it's not a major part of my like decision making, because a stock can easily undercut the trend line, and like it could be very subjective if you just draw your trend line. It could be something like this, it could be something like this, it could be something like this. I'm just treating it as a zone, like it's not like it's a magic line. It's not like that. It's like a zone. So I do take into consideration like potentially like this area is a potential support for SMTC. So but I'm just not going to draw a line and on the charts. Yeah, but yeah, I think sometimes it helps, and it works pretty good. What made you decide maintaining the MU position yesterday? Because yesterday the price was so close to your 960 stops that if the earnings disappoints, the price would possibly fall below the stop. Yeah. So actually, I considered selling MU in the middle of the day, and if MU close, I don't know, below 1,000, let's say, because I watched till the close of the day yesterday, because I think yesterday is a pretty important day for the market, and yeah, during the close, it bounces back a bit, so I got a little bit like 8% cushion from my stop, so I think it's enough for me to hold through the earnings. And so if it's closing weak, so let's say close like at the 980 level, then I'm probably gonna get rid of it before the earnings. Hi Martin, I do think you have changed the trading style a little recently. I don't think the year before you would buy EMPH from here. Yeah, EMPH buying buying EMPH today is a little bit new thing that I'm trying to experiment, that is trading off the weekly. So I'm I'm simply treating the weekly as the daily, and then I'm buying off the pullback into the 21 and the 50 EMA on the weekly chart, as well as the previous highs along this 45 level. And yeah, I was experimenting it because I think as my account keeps growing and become larger and larger, then possibly I need to like split my entry into different halves. So I think I could have I could protect, like, I don't know, I could have tried um entering early on the weekly first. Like, if you consider buying a leader during the pullback, then if you really would like to buy it early, like if you are really a big player, if you're a giant hedge fund, you're not going to accumulate your whole position at one day or even at 1 week. So you're going to split your entry your position in different days. And I don't want it to, like, I still wanted to keep my average, like the entry price, the cost low. I don't want, if, for example, if I would like to buy Enphase during this uptrend, I don't want to buy it on the high 40s area. If I need really to split my entry into like several days, so possibly I could buy 1/3 on the first pullback on this day, like if I somehow nail the entry, and then possibly maybe the second on this pullback day, and the third on the really breakout day. So I'm imagining or like experimenting this type of entries, trying to get a feel of it, and then Phase. This is a stock that I pretty bullish on the weekly, and I think on the way up, I think on these few days, on the, I don't know, I've mentioned it. If Enphase is getting a pullback into the weekly, maybe the 9 EMA or the 21 or the 50 EMA, I think that would be a really great opportunity for a weekly entry or like the weekly pullback buy. But it's yeah, it's pretty new to me, that I don't know. Yeah, risk less for the pilot position, because if you split your entry, your positions into different pieces, like I'm using for right now, I'm using 0.3% risk per trade. Then if I split it into 3, then I'm just gonna risk like 0.1% of my account. That is very manageable, even if I get stopped out. And yeah, I think in some sense, it's really helping me to minimize the drawdown, like protecting the downside. For weekly pullback, do you still use the tight stop less than 2%? Right now I am, but I don't know. I'm still experimenting it. I'm still trying, learning about it. No idea. Did you grow your account with 0.5% risk from the start, or did you take more risk when you started? Definitely, I think I take more than 0.5% risk when I first started trading, but I started to use 0.5% risk I think in 2023 or 2024, and that's when my performance really starting to improve. So looks like we're getting another rejection intraday, and that's definitely not a good thing to see. Yeah, but no matter what, I'm gonna let my stop to decide what I should do, and no second guessing, and just let the market to do its own thing. If you use 0.5% per trade, will you set a daily max drawdown, since a few losing trades can tumble your account? Yes, and that I think, I mean, no, I didn't set a max drawdown, daily max drawdown limit. So that's why uh my equity curve is pretty volatile, and like back in 2024 especially. So yeah, I think for 0.5% risk per trade, you have to be really selective. And yeah, if I can, if I can like if I can recommend trading, learning trading back again, I would probably tell myself to use like 0.3% risk per trade. I think that would be much better to like for my like low win rate and a tight stop loss approach, because I like the system is prone to like uh, 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 consecutive stop losses, the losing streaks, and it could be dangerous and like lead to like over trading or other stuffs. But if you're using like a wider stop approach, a higher win rate approach, then I think you can use a higher higher risk per trade, because mathematically you're less prone to the losing streak or consecutive stop losses. I am at the same time zone with you. How do you manage your position overnight before you go to sleep? Um, so it depends. For example, yesterday, like MU is getting pretty close to my stop and having earnings after hours. So yesterday I stay quite late. I watched the market till the close. So, but this, I think yesterday is the only day that I've really stay awake till the close, till the market close in the past two months, I think. Like when the stock is quite far away from your stop, like it's pretty safe from being stopped out, then I just I just go to sleep anyways. Yeah, I don't quite care about them, and I think it's completely fine. Like for example, last week I went to Japan for travel, and I completely avoided opening the trading view on my phone. I just escaped from the market, and yeah, the stop will just take care of itself, and that's how the stop works. But definitely occasionally during some like special occasions or important days, maybe I don't know, FOMC meetings, maybe like earnings, maybe some type of volatile days, like the Liberation Day, like this type of like really huge volume, wide range. I don't know, like this type of special events. Sometimes I would stay pretty late. Probably today, I'm not gonna watch it to the close side. Hopefully. Do you use more limit order rather than market order now when your account grows? I remember you used only market order back then. How do you enter the stocks when it moves so fast? So that's why I love trading liquid stocks, because I can use market order and get in as quick as possible. So like yeah, I think I entered like flags that all stocks even including Enphase with market orders. But occasionally like some stocks are just a little bit illiquid or having a wide spread, then I would use a limit order to minimize the slippage. But generally, I can recommend simply using the market order is the way you should go. Yes, I subscribe to real-time market data on TradingView. I think BP is reporting this morning, right? Pre-market. really love to see this type of actions. Hopefully it gets followed through and continues higher. I think this core wave is going to break out in either one direction. AAY is already down 42% from the high. We talk a lot today. I'm calling it a day here. So thank you guys for coming, and see you in the next one.